And we all know that it's impossible for a 10-stone woman to pick up a 15-stone man.
Okay, you're eager to come back on that, Lucy. I mean, it's physiological,
Absolutely.
it's physical.
Everyone, it's you know, your gender is irrelevant. I'm sure Dame Kelly Holmes could outrun most soldiers on the front line. You know, it goes back to that individual. If they're determined, if that's what they want, then they would do their training to develop that upper body strength. So I think you can't categorise it just on being that a woman is unable to do that. You know, I think, you know, that's what the army trains them for. And I know from when I was in the army, I was very limited as to where I could go and what I could do, because I was a female, yet I worked and trained as hard as men did in the army. So it was wrong, really.
Yeah. I mean, it is a bit of a stereotype, isn't it, Colonel Dewar? I mean, you know, the point made there, you know, Dame Kelly Holmes, there's plenty of, if it's just a physical test you're looking at, you know, there's plenty of strong women. And on the other side of it, you know, all the men on the front line are not, let's say, in the perfect physical condition.
Well, they are in the infantry, and it is no coincidence that in the Royal Marines, that in the paras and the infantry, there are no women. I've just been talking to Lucy. Lucy, could I finish, please? Lucy.
Okay, right. We'll have Colonel Dewar finish your point.
Lucy, I did listen to you, Lucy, and so perhaps you do me the honour of listening to me. Of course there are. I had a female assistant adjutant. Of course there are some women. What I'm saying is, in the combat role, we've just spoken to each other and just met. You know very well you couldn't pick me up and carry me 200 metres. I mean, let's have some honesty and common sense here. It's a matter of common sense here, and it's a matter of saving lives. And you would be physically costing lives.
Okay, bring Lucy back in. Go on.
Okay, I'm just saying it's not just about upper body strength, it's about speed, agility, it's about mentally being able to think on your feet there. You know, a frontline soldier isn't just about how much weight he can carry, there are a lot of other aspects as well.
Yes,
and it's about a team, and actually women and men work incredibly well together as a team.
Yeah, I mean, that is the point. I mean, there are lots of roles on the front line, aren't there, Colonel Dewar? It's not just about carrying each other around. That's a potential in extremis.
I think we're talking cross purposes here. Of course, women are brilliant in almost every role in the RAF and the Navy, and in some roles in the Army. Of course they are. This isn't a matter of prejudice. It's not a matter of being old-fashioned. This is quite simple common sense. You cannot compromise lives and efficiency in infantry. I'm afraid being in the infantry is taking advantage, if you like, of the worst male traits. Aggression, brute strength, all those things which perhaps are not good things in most circumstances. But Lucy, we know perfectly well, and you know perfectly well, that the average male is a lot stronger and more aggressive than the average.
All right, Lucy, you have to come back in on this.
Yeah, I'm talking about the average, but we're talking about people that have been trained for the front lines. So the army is sifting out the women that are strong enough, that can do it.
Yeah, well, short to the point there.
Strong enough.
No.
It is just not possible to suddenly wish away the physiological differences between the male and female gender. It's a matter of shoulder breadth.
We've given that a good airing. We've given that a good airing. But I just want to put a point to Colonel Dewar. What is it then about British women that means that they're weaker than, let's say, American women? They're allowed to serve on the front line. Have the Americans got it wrong?
No, I was going to raise that point if you hadn't. I'd served with the 101st Airborne Division for 3 months in Fort Campbell, Kentucky, and you are right. Technically, there are places in the US Army, and some much larger armies too, that they have the advantage of having enormous numbers, and one can afford to be selective as to who you send where. Well, we have a very small infantry. We can only afford to be good to have the absolute best.
Well,
so it's a matter of quality.
We're not a tiny country. Doesn't that rather prove your point, Lucy?
The absolute best is the best, and that's gender irrelevant. It could be male or female.
Okay, and there we must
disagree with that. Yeah. We're still missing the point, if I might say so.
Okay, well, I know you're in the studio together. You can have the discussion after we go off. Lucy Wyndham-Read, thank you very much indeed, and Colonel Mike Dewar.